destination.
Yeah, 10-4.
Security alert. Evil twin detected.
And here we are running the Kden Live video editor in Zorin OS, which proves the principle of installing Linux applications from the software store. But you cry, what about Windows applications? What if you need to run something that's only available for Windows? And Zorin OS 16 is as well equipped as any Linux distro to actually do this. And to prove it, let's first of all open up the file manager. I do like the file manager here, and I've got sitting in WinApps here.
Hello.
He yo one.
Hey, yo, one. Hello.
470 building secure. You show me clear 5-4. traffic.
Alright.
Gonna be north-south on Lincoln 0 Nora Adam Robert. Lincoln 0 Nora Adam Robert of Texas. North-south in front of Taggart.
Come on.
Charles 3060. Available in Santa Fe and clear. Everything's 10-4.
My computer system works great.
And the system will now reboot. And once again, we're arriving in Linux Mint, this time installed on the computer. So I'll just log in. And here we are back on my desktop with a welcome wizard. And there's various things that can be done here, some of which I'll return to later in the video. But the critical one is that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and on this computer there is an NVIDIA graphics card, we need to launch the driver manager to install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics card.
Dude, I gotta get generic Dr. Pepper from dollar store. We're poor here. Obviously, you can hear one.
traffic.
Computer surveillance detected.
South-south, San Victor Nora 3642, San Victor Nora 3642, south-south. Charlie 480 Club, copy, Paul Lincoln Nora 0284.
Hello.
Rising that on 77 southbound, just north of 772. There's going to be a vehicle that's pulled over, that's pulling a trailer, stacked with a bunch of items. She's advising there's a female on the side of the road trying to flag down drivers. She's asking if someone can go and check on her.
Hello.
Check her out for everyone on her.
10-4, check her out,
Chevy pick. Expiration on the ID is going to be 2031.
Debugging this program. Hello? You're on board.
You supposed to clear the turn music down. 460 Davis, Lansart.
David, Lansart, 1838. 494, West Wisconsin, 201, both for place. However, they can be contacted.
Far right. $15.22. Still in for sure.
15.22 to coffee. South 47 of the fire, will show me clear. Can you show us out on 3 areas and corner? That's 40 areas and corner. That's for 5364. Trespass at 305 Rosewood. 305 Rosewood.
141. 168, 141. So 152 in my yet. Can't do them traffic. 153 on the thing. You show 154 in the unit. And Fort or Bunker Agnes, Victor Charles X-ray 3897. So over 90. Hold my call. I'll be out with Canon 30.
That's what I know Canon 30.
I don't think I would be able to do Yeah. You mess up your train of thought.
You can make 155 primary face.
I think they do it on purpose.
And then you've got some Made in America glasses, so I love that.
Then we try the Shelbys.
What do you think?
They both look good on you.
You're a salesman. You're a salesman.
And what about saluting our fighter pilots this Christmas?
I want to see the pair that the fighter pilots are wearing. This is what they wear up there.
Yes.
Flying as fighter jets. Not bad. I'll leave the hard work to them, though.
We salute their service, our fighter pilots, and we salute the workers behind these glasses.
Program to detect Wi-Fi hackers, since we have a problem with
Program.
Wi-Fi hacking all the time. Here. Fix command not round. Hit it.
Big 370 Kirk comments.
Yes, among everything, but
The printers automatically for some reason, but everything else does. Not so on Windows. You will need to install drivers to get anything resembling a good quality print or a scan. Either the manufacturer will have a CD, in which case I hope you can use that, or you'll have to hunt online through cryptic websites to find the exact model among 200 different ones that have almost the same serial number. macOS might also work without installing specific drivers, but the
Drive.
is the
2401 is going to be 10-7. One master.
Security alert. Evil twin detected.
right? You would get I guess so. Logging works.
They can log in automatically.
Oh,
and now it's just a matter of sitting back and watching the zone
new design
it's installed.
Months ago. It's been amazing to see how you've been using it.
Installation is complete. We can now
Android keeps getting better. New screen
share,
visual guidance
and here we are. We're welcome to Zone OS 16. And one of the new things in Zone OS 16
Security alert. Unsecured detected.
It's so much fun.
Security alert. Evil twin detected.
All the trees down unless they want to fucking pay me.
All very exciting indeed. Let's take a look at what we have in the menu here. In the menu, I think the first thing you notice is this will be pretty familiar to people who are used to using current versions of Windows. And if you want to configure it, there's lots of really good settings available. Not only do we have the normal Linux type of settings, but we have the Zorin Appearance tab. If we bring that up, you'll see we have different layouts available. And the first layout is what they call Windows-like. It's what we've got here. We've also got Windows List.
And on this computer there is an NVIDIA graphics card. We need to launch the driver manager to install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics card.
Delta 360 area.
Let's check GPU. And this old ass GPU.
A recent kernel, recent drivers, so you should be able to run that on any computer without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and Corpus, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first recent kernel, recent drivers. Still, I should be able to run that on any computer without settings on. So to conclude on Cosmic and Corpus, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic opening and closing apps on every variable, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. There are some trials when opening and closing apps, not sure if
adapter. Now, when we've done that, we'll get to this message because our virtual machine doesn't meet the requirements for Windows 11. But we can fix this by going backwards. And
Airport 60, David Lansford.
David Lansford, 1838.
30s and early 1940s. So all the programs were live to air. So all these radio stations had full symphony orchestras that were dedicated to the station that would play a classical concert for 15 minutes, for example. You had people who were doing live radio announcing, again, no tape recorders. This guy was the fellow who announced the Harding-Cox presidential election. That's Warren G. Harding. I don't remember what Cox's first name was. But radio has now moved into sort of
click on install Windows App Support, and then on
Terminator off. Hello.
After which we need to enter our system password and let the process
Terminator
off. Take a little time, but when it has completed, your Windows program, if supported, will install in our browser, as we can see there for Autodesk.
Waverly Wildcats.
There we go. And with this complete,
recent drivers, so you should be able to run that on any computer without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and Corpus, I love what they've done.
You can watch a press briefing in Providence, Rhode Island about the mass shooting on Brown University there. We heard from the mayor of Providence, the governor of Rhode Island, and the police chief there, Colonel Oscar Perez in Providence. Again, the headline is the suspect, the person of interest, as they're calling it, is in custody and update on the victims. 2 dead, 7 now in stable condition, 1 in critical but stable condition, and 1 has been discharged from the hospital.
Moving.
32122.
QT applications. No.
At the top it says open with install Windows application. And the first time you do this, you'll get a message asking you to install Windows App Support, which for me didn't work. So I actually went back to the software store and did a manual install of Windows App Support. I'm therefore now hoping when I click here, it will install Adobe Audition. Yes, we did. Let's see what happens. Very exciting. Wine has come up, so hopefully
all the computer geeks out there.
A recent kernel, recent drivers, so you should be able to run that on any computer.
Silence trimming completed.
So to conclude on
processed 3,300.
I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of a desktop. It is still a first draft. The applications are bare bones, the settings are very bare bones, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not animated as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. There are some performance problems when opening and closing apps. Not sure if it's
I need to put a grab handle in the code. Wayland.
The settings are extremely basic.
One of the microwave output, and we're going to watch what happens. Alright, here we go. Now you can see the steam rising from
HDMI inputs, game consoles, everything. And here's the real jaw drop. Some setups can capture up to 7,000.
That's the sound of someone who's misplaced.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and to preserve your wealth, I highly recommend keeping physical gold in your retirement account. To learn more, text the word PROTECT to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold, which is the only gold IRA company.
Alright, so now let's see if we can protect ourselves. Remember, water does absorb microwave energy, even though this is a long wavelength and it penetrates deeply into a wet medium.
There are some performance problems when opening and closing apps. Not sure if it's
in. And here we are back on my desktop with a welcome wizard, and there's various things that can be done here, some of which I'll return to later in the video, but the critical one is that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and on this computer there is an NVIDIA graphics card, we need to launch the driver manager to install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics card. And just to be clear, if you have Intel or AMD graphics, the best drivers will already be installed. But here for NVIDIA, we'll just...
Security alert. Evil twin detected.
Hey, Dr.
Thunder.
Stronger.
Not in the program yet, but there will be one.
28.
But in 2025, it's often the least important part of your setup. Because what actually makes you practical usually has nothing to do with your IP. It's your browser, your behavior.
Okay, any requests from the public to public comment on any items 9 through 28? Please come forward.
And these tools do more for your privacy than any sponsor VPN ever will.
Persecution manipulation.
Or don't.
Okay.
Let's start with what nobody
coming into play. I hope so. But anyway, I got my Dr. Thunder out of the refrigerator in my kitchen.
Expired October 2025, October 12, 2025.
Location, Sir 10-20.
Hopefully they can see the yard.
To have a lot of experience and it's already kind of started to
Grab
use some of the
20,000
material to help us be a little bit more streamlined. Director of Events Ryan Fink. Ryan comes to us from our building in Tallahassee, Florida, the Public Civic Center. It's been really good for
Security alert. Evil twin detected.
There's various things that can be done.
You've got to
Or you can copy calling and all 028.
Do you think that there could actually be a 1-hour deal?
And these quantum storage. But we can fix that. Because if we close this down, I can go to encoding. Well, for now, we'll go to a terminal, and I'm going to type sudo apt install, and that's tt in for
Fox. And here we are back
Enter.
on the desktop with
And
it allows them my password, which of course are things that you here, some of which I'll return to later in the video. The critical one is that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and on this computer there is an NVIDIA graphics card, you need to launch the driver manager
Location 14-29.
just to be clear, if you have Intel or AMD graphics, the best drivers will already be installed. NVIDIA, I'll just
fucking got the fucking armor.
Animated as it should be.
Put it that motherfucking way.
As smooth as it should be. Awesome should be able to run that when opening and closing apps.
Also, that bitch ain't never fucking even got cops in trial for it when somebody uses it to provide the explosion by some catamaran. I use that. Motherfuckers. I know you listen to this, man. I'm doing this. You cocksuckers. You keep on where you want to start a band. You might think you need to police.
But you don't. You just smell GoDaddy error. I'm walking looking like I know what I'm doing. GoDaddy error will make you every fake machine. What about saluting will make you a unique logo? It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. Get started at GoDaddy.com/error. That's GoDaddy.com/error.
We salute their service, our fighter pilots, and we salute the workers behind these glasses.
131, I'll be on property.
They salute motherfuckers like me.
I'm getting them right now.
They want a motherfucking war. Boy, if they broke.
Oh my God. Don't like.
How is this guy cutting people's heads off on YouTube? And he posts a dick pic, and this motherfucker is decapitating people.
I'm moving Yeah, just stay on the side, we'll bounce over with the Whataburger, just stay on the side, I'll bounce over with the Whataburger, just so you can pull off in either direction. 5.
Hey, shit, I ain't don't torture. They decapitate fucking towelheads before they shit and piss on the corpse and lay in the ground.
And we try to show these.
And then track what you did after the FTP has already warned developers that you cracked. And here's how that cracking part extends into the real world. When you walk into a store, location data from after developers currently evidence. Time it to the ad that you saw. Retailers have a football application.
Long-term sales location browsers and because it revealed that the privacy was alive. In other words, that level of surveillance has two Now apply Carpenter's logic to facial recognition. Live face scanning technology can see where you go to your house of worship. It can say if you go to a therapist or maybe you have to go to the hospital.
2030, there's no 29.
Is in aerial. If we go up to the top there, you'll see the font has been substituted because it's not available. And similarly, this is the Dharma, and this is a Comic Sans, and these aren't in store. We can because we don't use the two locations over the South Now store. We're going to talk about Windows applications. What if you need to run something is only available for Windows? And ZoneOS 16 is the developer for any Linux distro to actually do this. And to prove it, let's first of all open up the file manager. I do like the file manager here, and I've got sitting in WinApps here.
Clear.
Alright, I just put the 932 was the stuck dollar bill.
In my office.
Cannot reach end of support, and ZoneOS 18 has just been released. This latest edition is based on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, and so has support until June 2029, after which an upgrade should be straightforward. And in this respect, note that an upgrade tool will soon allow an upgrade from OS 17 to 18. However, here we have a pre-install, so let's go over to the download page.
Therefore, I'm moving to Oklahoma Road.
Very bare bones, and you can clearly see that some stuff
just stay on the side, hold Brownsville Road, with the water burger, just so you can pull off in either direction.
There are some performance problems when opening and closing apps. Not sure if it's
score 2025-1211, 120238.
Yet to come.
I think to restore a virtual machine
action
if you change
and then
your
equal and
distro.
opposite reaction.
For example, on an external SSD,
Action.
the virtual machine is on that
is either going to be
and your application
there's going to be some certificate to hear
and it will now go managing, which is a clear box
Clear, full sound while still hearing what's happening.
I even got an album art generator on here. That's a 434, okay,
432 phase dipoles at 50 megahertz.
Charlie 483 club, copy, call Lincoln 028.
Set up a house. Oh, that one day.
And this is all steered by electronic phasing. So
Location 110-20.
It is a fantastic
electronic steering down the element level.
Animated as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. There are some performance problems when opening and closing apps. Not sure if it's
a significant performance boost on C1, such that now it's twice as fast in terms of speed.
That pops up on the phones here around here, G.
That's a pass on that.
And they take it from you forcefully. Let me tell you, that is what's happening to the taxpayer. When a councilman gets up and says, I want to be able to
graphics, not a great deal. Image viewer, LibreOffice Draw, photos. We don't here have GIMP, image manipulation program. Used to be included. Apparently, user feedback said people didn't want that pre-installed. You can obviously yourself if you want it. $2.99 under £47.99 minimally here. Got the Firefox web browser. We've got I should know if Zorin did offer me a free review configurator, but Office purchased my own to preserve my independence and to prevent this video becoming a paid promotion. And guess what? Here we are running Zorin OS 13 Pro. So, what extra do we get? Well, in addition to supporting the development of Zorin OS, purchasing the Pro
Even shutting down your computer is no longer simple, because Windows insists on installing updates first.
I'm sure your boss will understand when your Windows PC randomly shuts down in the middle of, say, an important meeting, or just before a deadline with your work unsaved, just for it to spend, if you're lucky, minutes booting back up while it does forced updates, even though you said whichever option was closest to
Only when a tractor moves, it is now.
So you should be able to run that the whole time, without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and Pop OS, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of desktop. It is still a first draft. The applications are bare bones, the settings are very bare bones, and you can see that some stuff is not animated as it should be.
Labels it by which end to record.
There are some performance problems when opening and
the ticket says open with install Windows application.
And
the first time you do this, you'll get the message asking you to install Windows apps. And the first time you do this, you'll get the message asking you to install software store with a manual install of Windows didn't work. So I actually went back to the software store and did a manual install Adobe Audition apps. Do we want to run patsey? Yes, here we do. Windows Audition. Do we want to run very exciting? Yes, we do. So hopefully, very exciting. Wine has come up, so hopefully.
Agency will be around.
Oh, we got some
60 days of Manfred.
RP stated that a male subject pushed her.
That's carbon emissions with the gas.
Recent colonel, recent drivers, so you should
Charlie,
be able to
40
run
feet
that
club.
any
Copy,
without
Paul Lincoln, Nora, 0284.
To conclude on Cosmic and Pop OS, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of a desktop. It is still a first draft. The applications are going, the settings are very durable, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not animated as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should
Security
be.
alert.
There are some performance
Evil
problems
twin
with
detected.
opening and closing
Oh,
apps.
you got an evil
Not sure
twin
if it's
detected.
36 registered to Adam out of the house, out of the
36, 36.
36. White
Alright, 10-4. Believe, CBD has traffic.
But the worst
You can give them a courtesy call and let them know if they need
you
any
realize what my
available.
doors I just saw. We saw a stretcher go down the street.
With the holidays coming up in Australia,
And
this, by the way, is
60 days
they
of Manfred.
nailed down
Lots of options. It's a slideshow or a single image. You can add your own.
And she was also
There's
being
no
protected by
video or stuff like that,
so
super
so
stuff, but that's this is what we're talking about when you walk around Providence right now. In terms of appearance, there's also some quite good things that you can look at. Obviously, you've got your usual dark mode and light mode, which auto switches on the fly. You've got your accent color support, which will only appear in selected elements and highlights around windows. It's not overbearing. You don't have that.
Copy, Paul Lincoln, Nora, 0284.
You're saying that AI will become more agentic, which means it requires less human interaction.
I make you be
I guess
nice
the
if
easiest
I
way to
want.
explain that is, okay, I want this report run, every week, and I guess it kind of already does that. But basically, it's AI doing the thing without you having to kick it off, and it's drawing conclusions for images and things, and having you're going to have individual show up. But I think that's probably obvious because
I'm just saying prepare for it. I'm not saying that's not your reason for being there. Just you're going to have a situation where what it can do for you. This guy's going to be walking around with torn pants. For sure, it's not appropriate, right? Right. The other side is that people come in with their animals too.
It's a holly jolly Christmas.
And then my eye building today.
6.5 million better, which is good. That's a good Christmas present for the city. And you can see in the detail why that is 6.5 million better when you proceed with collections and the appraisal review. Recycling and
from what we can see within people responsible in this case, it's estimated around $50 million.
I guarantee you, black cars that work for Corpus Christi ain't driving off with $1 million in their riding suitcases.
I don't have a product key, so we'll just take that down there. And I want to install Windows 11 Pro, and I also want to make sure we're offline when we do this, so I can set up a local account. And to do that, I'm going to go down here to VirtualBox, and I'm going to disconnect the network adapter. Now, when we've done that, we'll get to this later, because our virtual machine doesn't meet the requirements for
Christi as well as the other cities to help us that we're facing. And your expertise and foresight are invaluable.
Regarding that time of year.
We're very supportive of this agreement, obviously, because it's not a very but looking at us, we were almost
Negative, the KPD one.
Maybe they like keeping their jobs at the Corpus Christi.
At the time, I didn't know how much they sucked. I do now.
They suck bigly.
Yeah.
If I can use that word.
And I said to them,
You notice that parking lot has a huge number of black cars in the personnel parking lot? The Corpus Christi Police Department?
A recent kernel, recent drivers, so you should be able to run that on any computer without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and Pop OS, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of a desktop. It is still a first draft. The applications are bare bones. The settings are very bare bones. And you can clearly see that some stuff is not animated as it should be. Some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. Cosmic or Pop OS, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of a
at the time, I didn't know how
desktop. It is
much
still
they
a
sucked.
first
I
draft.
do
The
now.
applications are bare
They
bones.
suck
The
bigly.
settings
Yeah.
are
And
very
use that word.
And
you
I
can
said to
clearly
them,
see that some stuff is not animated as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. There are some performance problems when opening and closing apps. I'm not sure if it's
25 no answer.
Score 20251211 120238.
And indeed to restore a virtual machine
action,
if you change
and then
your
equal and
distance.
opposite reaction.
For example, on an external SSD,
Action.
I've got a copy of the Windows virtual machine. Let's just take a copy of that.
Is either going to be
Computer, a new application.
or there'll be some pushback, but it will
and it will now go manager, which is a virtual box.
HackRS can penetrate a Linux Red Hat firewall customized by Heath, man. Yeah. That's like
Alright, therefore I'm moving to Oklahoma Road.
Like that, and like that.
Yeah, just stay on the
Lo
side,
and
hold
behold,
down to the
we should
road,
find,
the water
yes,
burger,
our
just so you
USB
can
drive
pull off in
is
either direction.
available in
27 back on base. And I need another bus.
VirtualBox is a hypervisor that I use almost every day. However, there are alternatives, and the first one I want to briefly mention is VMware Workstation.
I'm making them comply.
I'm not saying that all of that goes to this.
Resources
What
are
I am saying is that
split
if
between the host and guest.
You're all needed to
we're not activating
entry index.
Can be passed with processor
848-721.
at least 8 gigabytes of RAM.
one of those is that there's
To
already
run the Linux in Windows, you also need to install the hypervisor. The application is operating and running
905, turn the radio station.
It feels
but
like it's
regardless of which hypervisor we use,
Frank?
I guess so.
$1261 to dispatch.
1261?
Hi, do you still have the responding party online for the call on Hoover Street?
Negative, can you hear me calling?
Yes, we're outside the house, but nobody's answering and I don't see anyone inside.
Yep, that was live action.
Alright, therefore I'm moving to Oklahoma Road. Yeah, just stay on the side, hold Brownsville Road, the water burger, just so you can pull off in either direction. Nine 203-26284, repeat. 9203-26284. Come back to a water ball from 50.
Live action. They had to be converted.
Good.
On my custom script, you can't look at.
Registered to Adam.
Make you nervous, Rex.
We find a number of packages available of which we need to install
Fake
3.
dispatch radio
And
code bullshit.
the first of these is the base package, so let's just install this. This gives us the basis of a virtual box. And of course I need to enter my password. There we are, that's installed. So we go back. We're next going to install VirtualBox Guest Editions ISO, which will improve the performance of our virtual machine, by permitting it to run full screen and allowing
recent drivers should be able to run that on any computer without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and Pop OS, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of a desktop. It is still a first draft. The applications are bare bones, the settings are very bare bones, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not as amazing as it should be.
Is specifically
known as that's the area my POV is during
third parties can access this now with no restriction via API. If you want to know how to check your TPM status, here are example commands on Windows. By the way, you can restrict access. There's a deliberate purpose to all this madness, and it's all tied to the AI. So don't think this is some random choice by Microsoft.
And that was only the start.
I don't use Microsoft.
124 records advising they should be arriving any minute now.
10-4
No, it's tools. Hello.
909.
And if we see the need, we open it up early, so we're not trying to do it last minute.
I'm just trying to answer it.
24-1 to make some modifications because as recently as, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, we had 2 or 3 consecutive days where overnight temperatures were in the 40s, low 40s, and it feels like we're in the mid to low 30s. I realized that.
Well, they try to use microwave here, you can screw up phone conversations.
Which we need to install. And the first of these is the base package, so let's just install
1130 of 84.
VirtualBox.
Makes the computing business a lot easier. Often you're doing things that are repetitive, and you don't want to have to type long lists of things. This makes our life much easier and allows us to tailor our environment for the way we want.
Another nice feature of the Unix programming environment is the concept of input-output redirection. Normally, when you type a command, the output from it goes.
But what does that have to do with journal CTL? Well, like I mentioned, what we're going to do is view log output from a particular user. So we'll type journal CTL.
David, Landside 1838.
David, Landside.
David, Landside 1838.
I need to leave. I can't.
7 Colorado, the name of ever.
Damn check spent before I even get it.
First name Brandon, last name Wilson.
Even if someone has never used
April
Linux
27 of
before,
82.
they can understand Kubuntu quickly. The layout resembles Windows enough to feel familiar, while still offering the power of Linux underneath. Right-click menus, taskbar behavior, window controls, and system tray icons behave just as most users expect. This reduces the learning curve and makes Kubuntu a friendly introduction to Linux. For users switching from Mac OS, Kubuntu offers features like global menus, hot corners, and dock-like panels.
I'm more efficient. I don't like to waste time. Having cancer and no health care is kind of makes you scrutinize, waste your time. That. Hello.
He yo one.
Hey, yo, one. Hello. Microwaves. We're out what?
Charles 1701.
Tired of hearing about bus routes. Aren't you? Tired of hearing people eat on the damn police P25 radio network too. We got a microwave carrying on as a building location over there. No manner.
An underscore 2025-1211-131315.
And here we are, running the Cleveland Live video editor.
Well, I can make it so a box picks up the order.
25, not my case number.
423, George, show David.
Airport. Sir, telling David. How many things are 4 of the bar dogs? I'll be out on like 20, 30
I got a solution for the radio box over at Luciano's.
The bill validator. Spinning round and round and not able to.
Or the public we serve to be disrespected. We're here to do the people's work, so let's proceed in that spirit. If you would like to speak on a specific agenda item during its discussion, you do not need to sign up beforehand. I will ask for public comment when the council considers the item. At that time, you may come up to the podium and speak. And I'll ask City Attorney Miles Risley to please review the council meeting rules of decorum. These rules will also be displayed on the television screens above for your viewing.
All citizens.
Maybe 18th and anyone.
I build solutions for everything I can. It's what I've seen my whole life.
David?
David Victor 01750.
Like that cop. Solution for the FP program.
You can't delete it. Now the device ID is specifically known and it's pulled from the TPM. Third parties can access this now with no restriction via API. If you want to know how to check your TPM status, here are example commands on Windows. By the way, you can restrict access. There's a deliberate purpose to all this madness, and it's all tied to the AI. So don't think this is some random choice by Microsoft.
And that was only the start.
Proprietary hardware if I can, and nothing has a TPM in it. And I routinely look for the NSA backdoor in my shit. Not that the NSA would persecute me and take my fucking life like this.
The system will now reboot. And once again, we're arriving in the next minute, this time installed on the computer. So I'll just plug in.
Half as much problem.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards, but did you know we print everything you need to get your brand in front of your fans? We print banners and signs that help your business stand out. We print postcards and flyers that get people talking. And we print must-have merch like tote bags, t-shirts, and water bottles. Whether you want a few or a few thousand, we print on everything so that customers can go from noticing your brand to falling in love with it.
Not only do we have the normal Linux type of settings, but we have the Zorin Appearance tab. If we bring that up, you'll see we have different layouts available. And the first layout is what they call Windows-like. It's what we've got here. We've also got Windows list.
NSA's got a list of my blacklisted in.
And here, the main option is to erase distance. This is currently no operating system on
any computer without any problem.
But
so to
if we're
conclude
working on a
on
computer
Cosmic and
with Windows
OS,
installed,
I love
this
what they've
screen
done.
looks
It is a
something
fantastic
with the default option being to install the
It is still a
Mint
first,
alongside
the
Windows
applications of your
Manager,
phones,
which
the
would
settings
create
are
a
very variable,
and
and you
I've
can
got a whole
clearly see
video
that
about
some
dual
stuff
boot
is
options,
not
which I'll link
animated
to
as
in
it
the
should be,
description.
some stuff isn't as smooth
And
as it
here,
should be.
if we want
There
to
are
change,
some
we can
problems
select
with
erase.
opening and closing apps. Not sure if it's
Charlie 310, McConnell and Water.
I use a radio transmission if you're taking a leak in the bathroom at home, but
Stand 4.
I'm 34-1 South Alameda. We can't jam them all, I guess. The FCC will come.
You have a few options here and there. Honestly, for my needs, it's way more than enough. It's a good terminal. It does the basic stuff a terminal does. And if you have a preferred app, you can install it through FlatHub. You also have a very basic text editor. It doesn't do much. It does have some Git management features if you need that, but I think most people will just use another text editor if they need to edit files in a Git repo. It's a very simple one, but it has the merit of existing and letting you...
Yeah. Oh, my fucking back hurts.
A layout, at least on a computer with not that many applications pre-installed. Although here I'm going to go back to my favourite Zorin OS layout, which is a standard Windows-like one, which I still think works best. And it's worth noting when you change a layout, it does change the settings for your panel, or what they do here called the taskbar, because they're really trying to make things easy for people coming from Windows. I had made that slightly bigger, so I'll go back over there, put it back to 64, which for me is the best size of the taskbar panel.
3007.
Microwave and mac and cheese.
And I.
Microwaves.
Different purposes.
Silence trimming completed.
The usage patterns
Processed 3,300.
is essentially the same. The hotspot can reduce the ease of directly profiling your individual behavior. A third reason why siloing the SIM in a separate device can be useful is to reduce location tracking. Now, a SIM in your hotspot is still going to report your location to cell towers. So what I do is, when I need a connection, I turn on the hotspot briefly, and I connect it to
traffic.
Don't mind an AI that does all this shit and don't even need it.
And I.
Going to be 37 and Chaparral, Tom Mary Victor 0924.
Yeah. What do I say? News? Probably nothing good. 2,000
They're working on the
Out the 320 area.
sprinkler system.
Of course, that was short-lived. They only mentioned that for a few days. Scott.
25, somebody VIN number one more time.
On Venture.
Yes. Bad luck. It gets to be hard times. It really fucking gets to be hard times. My luck. How the hell you pick up?
Alright, therefore I'm moving to Old Plaza Road.
A recent kernel, recent drivers, so you should be able to run that
Yeah,
on
just stay on the
computer
side, we'll
without
bounce over
any
on
problem.
the water
So to
burger just so
conclude
you
on
can
Cosmic
pull off
and
in either
PopOS,
direction.
I love what they've done. It is a fantastic first draft of a desktop. It is still a first draft. The applications are bare bones, the settings are very bare bones, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not animated as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. There are some performance problems when opening and closing apps. Not sure if it's...
So, let's click on download, and if we go down this page we find there are loads and loads of mirror sites that actually provide access to the ISEG file. I'm in the UK, so I'm going all the way down to UK, there we are, and I'm going to download from the University of Kent Mirror Service. And so I'll click to save the ISEG file, which is 2.7.
Hey, I'm totally in a potato.
Charlie 483 Club, copy Paul Lincoln Nora 0284.
One out, staying overnight.
David?
Potatoes are coming in.
129, Plaza.
That's what the history says.
Jeremy Delta 320 looking at
Airport 60 Davis Mansard.
A live USB drive that we can use to test and install Linux Mint 22.
Delta 360 arriving.
Right, we're now booting my i5 test rig from the live USB drive we just created, and if you need help booting from a USB drive, I have less information in the video description. But here we now are at a grub menu that allows us to launch Linux Mint 22.
I just put the 932 with the stuck dollar bill also. That's the one that I that's why I got confused.
Okay, and then 915, I got that one going.
You know, I had an entry
block.
That made out of stainless steel. Thinking about that.
1001 no water, the physical department, all heavy to more vehicles.
Cannot reach end of support, and Zorin OS 18 has just been released. This latest edition is based on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS and so has support until June 2029, after which an upgrade should be straightforward. And in this respect, note that an upgrade tool will soon allow an upgrade to However, here we are to pre-install, so let's go over to the download page on install. And there we are. The virtual box is now installed. Here we are right now. Here. Now got most of these, but I do not want to have anything in the quick launch bar, so
What, a couple months ago?
Just look at what's happened in Australia. This country is in a years-long lockdown enforced by the military where all civil rights have been suspended. And Australians may...
Yes, we saw your comments. Yes, no, we weren't actually watching it just yet. But now, with our launch celebration, we've got all the gear, the idea.
56 food for me.
No excuse left. Let's do this.
I like that small.
And it's for most definitely in stock. And it's available for pickup or delivery, and it's for most definitely in stock.
A recent kernel, recent drivers should be able to run
what all these changes had in common was they kept people connected to Microsoft's online services. And this is where the bigger picture becomes clearer. Windows is the surface. The real product is the network of services underneath it, and they all point in one direction, towards benefiting Microsoft's shareholders, and not the user. You can clearly see it in the transition from Windows 10 to Windows.
Some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. There are some performance problems when opening and closing apps. I'm not sure if
There'll be one unable contact RP, one control, and two unavailable.
Public comment on any items 9 through 28, please come forward.
And these tools do more for your privacy than any
solar panels on that power the boatyard.
$42,000. What almost nobody can see.
Maybe I'll plug in and plug in and work on your boat. Yeah, that's fine.
I am in the UK, that's fine. London's fine for my time zones. I need to create an account. This is a local account. I'm not going online here. This is simply a local account on the computer, so I'll just set this up. The password there is fair. It's the only test system. And note, we do have an option here to log in automatically, although I'm going to run things to require a password on logon. So, we'll click on continue. There we are. $99 or £47.99 for me here in the UK. And I should note that Zorin did offer me a free review copy, but I purchased my own to preserve my independence and to prevent this video becoming a paid promotion. And guess what? Here we are running Zorin OS 18 Pro. So, what extra and get? Well, in addition to supporting with the purchasing and Zorin OS, but none of the data or anything else that was previously on that drive.
obviously,
so, and I'll click on install now, and it just checks we really want to do it. Yes, we do, and I'll click on continue.
For example, you probably don't want to
And it can ask me a few more questions. Where am I? I am in the UK, that's fine. London's fine for my time zone.
Alright, therefore I'm moving
I need to create an account.
So to conclude on Cosmic and PopOS,
why are you?
Yeah, just stay on the side, we'll bounce around with the water burger just so you can pull off in either direction.
The applications are available, recent settings should be able to run.
Alright, therefore I'm moving to Oklahoma Road.
So to conclude on Cosmic and PopOS, I love what
yeah, just stay on the side, we'll bounce around with the water burger just so you can pull off in either direction.
The applications are bare bones, the settings are very bare bones, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not animated as it should be, some stuff isn't as smooth as it should be. There are some performance problems.
So you want to start a
opening
business.
and closing apps.
You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but you don't. You just need GoDaddy Arrow. I'm Walton Goggins, and as an actor, I'm an expert in looking like I know what I'm doing. GoDaddy Arrow uses AI to create everything you need to grow a business. It'll make you a unique logo.
Location, Sir 10-20.
It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. Get started at GoDaddy.com/arrow. That's GoDaddy.com/AI.
Delta 36, I'm clear 5-4.
Almost looks like a trimaran. But it ain't, man. It's boomerang. Catamaran. I'm sure they won't pipe bomb their boat because of code enforcement bitches. And
find a number of packages available, of which we need to install
Freight
3.
dispatch radio code.
The first of these is the base package, so let's just install this. This gives us the basis of VirtualBox.
Go ahead.
Of course, I need to enter my password. There we are, that's now installed. So we go back. The next bit we install VirtualBox Guest Edition ISO, which will improve the performance of our virtual machine. Full screen and allow it a share.
missing some kind of nose piece.
As they would in classic Windows.
Maybe about
this one I think is a Linux Mint-like.
It
gives us something that looks a little bit like Linux Mint, and this does have applications coming up over in column. I do although I think still in Zone OS I prefer the default layout. And as you might have seen in the through some of those, the other thing we get, or at least the other thing we can get, is a lot more software installed. And I say we can get a lot more software installed as the installer includes close this down, and there we are running a VirtualBox Windows 10 virtual machine here in Linux Mint. And it's currently running as a small window on the screen as you can see, but we could go to view and full screen, at which point VirtualBox kindly tells us we can get back to window mode at any time by pressing the host key plus F, with the host key currently set to be right control. So I'm going to set to not see that message again, and I will switch to full screen. And oh look, Windows is not full screen.
I don't have a product key, so we'll just take that down there. And I want to install Windows 11 Pro, and I also want to make sure that offline when we do this, so I can set up a local account. And to do that, I'm going to go down here to VirtualBox and go to when we've done that, we'll get to this message because our virtual machine doesn't meet the requirements for Windows 11. Boot, we can fix this once again, we're arriving in Linux Mint, this time installed on the computer.
Negative flight in progress.
Which I'll return to later in the video, but the critical one is that if you have a NVIDIA installation on the computer that is an NVIDIA graphics card, we need to launch the driver manager to install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics card. And to be clear, if you have Intel or AMD graphics, the best drivers will already be installed. There for NVIDIA, we'll just... And here we have the VirtualBox.
Here.
We know about network interfaces, that one's on the right. And remember, now got back in this, so I don't mind most of these, but I do not want to have anything in the quick launch bar, so we'll...
It's getting late.
Delta 350, can we get a unit with the camera, please?
Yes, with the camera canister, CCPD 15,
Poor man's Dr. Pepper.
167 traffic.
AI glasses. Program, I'm sure.
26.04 that will release early next year. You'll have a newer base. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to upgrade in place from 24.04. So this will no longer be a problem, and I don't think it really is one currently. Install your apps with Flatpaks and just wait for the update for the Cosmic desktop from Cosmic's repos. You already have a recent kernel, recent drivers, so you should be able to run that on any computer without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and Pop OS,
No, 360, be on the mountain 10th Street.
Say, making sure he's house is secured.
The other thing that's worth being aware of is
1,432 phase dipole, 350 megahertz or 6 meters frequency. So each one of these guys is a half-wave dipole, so that's 3 meters or about 10 feet from there to there. They're all on wooden posts. They're dual polarization, and this is all steered by electronic phasing.
And underscore 20251211131315.
Another geospace remote sensing radar that's about that size, but with fully electronic steering down to the element level.
So, how much service?
I try not to remember those mechanical next. Trying to beat the FBI with fake FBI program. Because I thought they were But anyways, neither here nor there.
And here we're going to do a search for fonts Ubuntu, that, and I'm now going to click on fonts Ubuntu Classic and go to package and lock version. And oh look, it turns red, and just to be safe I'm also going to do the same thing to fonts Ubuntu, this time installed on the computer. So, and there we are. We should now have permanently installed the thicker Ubuntu font. There's various things that can be done here, some of which I'll return to later in the video, but the critical one is that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and on this computer there is an NVIDIA graphics card, we need to launch the driver manager to install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics card.
Odds are I have a recording of the haircut. Well, if I can prove I was a victim of domestic terrorism, I should be compensated. Terrorism victim compensation fund. Where are they investigating?
Which is slightly different. That's the range of programs that go down into the taskbar where they're iconified under the standard Windows 1 down there. We've also got a touch focus layout like that, where applications come up pretty much as they do in a sort of map-by system. And we've also got and things like that. But for now I think I'm going to stick with the Windows layout.
Things
are also very easy to check.
Should we check out the camera? I'll be out in the nose.
Airport 6D data on Hansard.
The call of us is president on the next one. We're going to get around some definitely.
Really?
So up there is the rock face of the mountain. The really cool thing with this type of crawling method is you actually get to see your adversary. You get to see the rock in front of you, the mountain that you're battling.
So here, let's install
More explosions, more ammo straight away, more shot range, and the same again. Step by step, bit by bit.
You can clearly see that some part of the project animated and should be excavation and then we can proceed. Some tremendous problems with losing cast.
Greetings, Johnny.
Okay, any requests from the public to make public comment on any items 9 through 28 please come forward.
And these tools do more for your privacy than any podcast ever will. So first we have
to make
DNS
public
over
comment.
HTTP, yes or don't.
Okay.
Let's start with what almost nobody can.
24-1, 1070, all clear. 10-7.
Proceed with caution. Your vehicles are ready to come out now, drive to you. Right.
I guess so.
Terrace clear.
And run the 64-bit version of Guest Editions. Like that. Yes, we want to install it. And we just run through like a normal Windows install process. And there we are, it is installed, but we have to reboot, so we'll click on Finish.
27 and 28 are showing.
And here we are back again. I need to log in. There we go. And nothing looks different, but now with Guest Editions installed, I can right click and go to Display.
Insulate.
500 block of West 4th on Texas Plate, Tom King List, 8256. Good morning. Four, 49.
What time I need it on that major?
That's between. Copy today, guys. Delta 420 or anywhere in the major.
So 10-10, phone from stakeholder orders.
Delta 36, CDC on it up now. Delta 320, coming back on 340, call.
Delta 320 346.
470, we should be good. You can 18, 4410.
4410, that's
Handle.
civilian F-16s conducted today's strikes. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth writing on social media that this is not the beginning of a war, it is a declaration of vengeance. But a U.S. official said the scope and duration of the U.S. response depends in part on how ISIS reacts to today's actions. Tom?
All right, Courtney, thank you. Let's bring in Gabe Gutierrez live at the White House. And Gabe, the president had said this attack was coming.
Yes, he did, Tom, and his administration is touting this as a promise kept. The president just posting on social media the U.S. is inflicting very serious retaliation, adding all terrorists who are evil enough to attack Americans are hereby warned you will be hit harder than you have ever been hit before if you in any way attack or threaten the USA. The president had attended the dignified transfer of the National Guardsmen on Wednesday. These retaliatory strikes comes just weeks after Trump hosted Syria's new president, Ahmed al-Sharaa, in the Oval Office. He's a former jihadist who once supported al-Qaeda, but now he's a U.S. ally. President Trump making it clear that he does not hold Syria's new government responsible for the ISIS attack on American troops. The stability of Syria seen as crucial to the administration's foreign policy in the Middle East. Tom?
All right, Gabe, our thanks to you. Now to that other breaking news tonight, the release of hundreds of thousands of documents related to the late sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. The Justice Department was ordered to release those never-before-seen documents and photos by tonight, and our teams have been pouring through them. Some of the images are alarming. Ryan Nobles with what's inside the files tonight.
Tonight, for the first time, the Epstein files made public. The Justice Department posting hundreds of thousands of items online related to the DOJ's criminal investigations of the late sex offender, including photos that do not include context or prove any criminal activity. Here, former President Bill Clinton appears in a hot tub with someone whose face is redacted. In another, Clinton is seen next to Epstein, and Michael Jackson seen here with Epstein. Another shows Epstein, co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, Mick Jagger, and Bill Clinton seated at a table. And this photo of Epstein with Richard Branson. The Justice Department and the FBI this summer said they, quote, did not uncover evidence that would warrant an investigation against uncharged third parties. The documents contain numerous redactions, including to protect victims' identities.
What is not fine is for him to engage in additional redactions without any explanation. And that's the question that we have.
No administration had ever released the documents until Congress voted nearly unanimously to order the DOJ to make them public.
We also want to know why the government failed in so many years. These crimes went on for decades, through 5 different presidential administrations before Epstein was finally put in jail.
All of it comes as new details have been published of Epstein's rise from private school teacher to financial advisor for the wealthy, described as a chronic liar who still gained the trust of powerful people. The New York Times reporting he lied on his resume and abused expensive, citing interviews with people in Epstein's past. And tonight, a top Democrat demanding the DOJ explain what's in and not in the files that were released.
So far, I have to say that the release has been
we need to launch the driver manager to install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics card.
I reserve judgment until we go through all of the release.
All right, Ryan Nobles joins us now live. Ryan, we've been reaching out to the people seen in these photos for their responses.
That's right. And former President Bill Clinton has not been accused of any wrongdoing related to Epstein. And tonight, a spokesperson said they can release as many grainy 20-plus-year-old photos as they want. But this isn't about Bill Clinton. Richard Branson and Mick Jagger have also not responded to us tonight. Tom?
Okay, Ryan, thank you. We are learning stunning new details tonight about how the alleged Brown University and MIT shooter evaded police for days. Investigators describing him as very strategic. Aaron McLaughlin on what he did to keep his identity unknown.
Tonight, new details about how the alleged Brown University killer, Claudio Manuel Neves Valenti, evaded law enforcement for 6 days. He allegedly killed 2 students and wounded 9 before murdering an MIT professor in Massachusetts. Authorities say Valenti later died by suicide. His body found in a storage unit in New Hampshire.
Do you think he planned on killing anyone else?
It's possible. He's a dangerous individual, very dangerous.
Law enforcement officials tell NBC News Valenti used advanced techniques to avoid being found.
It sounds like he meticulously planned this attack.
Oh, there's no question about that.
They believe he used different weapons for each murder, avoided using traditional credit cards, changed license plates on his vehicle multiple times, used an international SIM card in his phone, making it harder to trace, and he covered his face.
Do you think he knew where all the cameras were?
He definitely was conscious of that.
Critical to cracking this case, a man law enforcement refers to as John, a Brown University graduate who frequents the building where the attack happened.
He views himself as an extension of the Brown community.
Officials say John confronted Valenti in the building hours before the attack. Part of their encounter caught on this surveillance footage showing Valenti running away from John.
Anything like
According
that.
to court
But for
documents,
me,
John
it has all
followed
the
Valenti
functionality that I
outside,
need.
where they
It's
ran by a
stable
Nissan
and it
he
just
believed
works.
belonged to Valenti because
And
his
just like
key
to do
fob
is,
extended
Standard
the
Notes
car
is
lines.
cross-platform.
2 days ago,
It's not a
authorities put out
Linux-specific
this
app by
notice
any
asking
means,
for
but
John
there's
to
a
come
Linux version
forward.
available for those of you within my audience, but there's
John then
also
alerted
versions
authorities to the
available for
Nissan
Windows
and
and
other
Mac OS
important
as well.
details.
In
He
fact, you can
described the
even
lengths
use
he
it on
went
your
to
phone,
evade authorities.
and it syncs your notes
How did he kill
between
himself?
devices, so it could be
It's
your
a
one
question we
note-taking
have
app
as well.
for all
We're
note-taking
posting
purposes.
information and very strategically posting certain things. I'm assuming he realized, but at the end of the day, we were coming.
Aaron, the autopsy results for Valenti just came in. What did we learn?
That's right, Tom. Officials estimate that he died 3 days ago, a day after shooting and killing the MIT professor. And while officials believe that he had a personal connection to the professor,
Security alert.
they do not know why he
Evil
opened
twin
fire
detected.
on a classroom full of students that he likely never met. Tom?
Aaron McLaughlin for us tonight. Aaron, thank you. Today will be one of the busiest travel days of the holiday season, and the weather is already creating problems at some of the country's biggest airports. Emily Aketa has the latest.
Severe weather tonight rocking parts of the country and causing ground stops and delays at major airports packed with holiday travelers.
It doesn't look good outside.
More than 52 million people will fly over the holiday, with the busiest days at airports through this weekend, plus just after Christmas. Darlene Del Rosario calls this the nerve center for United flights at Newark.
We're always in planning mode, 24/7 for United Airlines to make sure that our customers get the least impacted. So right now we're looking at this conditions for the rest of the day, high winds, rain for the most part, but we are all set up.
They're grappling with thunderstorms and powerful winds in the northeast, strong enough to topple trees onto power lines. A mix of wind and snow stirring up dangerous conditions in the upper Midwest. And watch the force of these gusts, turning travel treacherous in Wyoming and making it difficult to see in Colorado, which is facing a rare, particularly dangerous situation alert for wildfire risk as gusts topped 100 miles an hour. Our NBC affiliate KUSA is on the ground in Boulder.
Here's one of those gusts right now. This is what I'm talking about.
Xcel Energy shutting off power to tens of thousands in case more trees and power poles snap, as officials there urge people stay home and off the roads in a turbulent start to the holiday rush.
And Emily joins us tonight from Newark. Emily, we can see all those travelers there behind you. Some of those ground delays are still in effect tonight?
Tom, that's right. Travel's off to a bit of a bumpy start with flight cancellations and delays approaching 10,000 tonight. If you're driving, AAA says your trip time could more than double starting this weekend near major cities like Boston and D.C.
Okay, Emily, thank you. Overseas, we're following terrifying scenes in Taiwan, where a man threw smoke grenades into a train station and later attacked bystanders with a large knife, killing 3. A warning tonight, the video you're about to see is disturbing. Here's the song.
3 companies rejected me. They took one look at my oxygen tank and said no. One didn't even let me finish the application. Then my neighbor told me about a program with guaranteed acceptance.
You probably know Vista.
Yeah, right, what's the catch? But I had nothing to lose. No medical exam, no nurse visit. They just asked basic questions, age, state, and if I wanted coverage. The approval came in just 5 days. Look, approved for $15,000 in coverage. Don't let your health condition stop you from protecting your family. If I qualify with all my issues, you can too.
It is still a first draft. The application, so to conclude on Cosmics and PopOS, I love what they've done. It is a fantastic, is not.
Do you have a car and do you have a clean driving record? Did you know you could pay as low as $19 a month in
clearly see that
car
sort of
insurance.
stuff is
How?
not
It's super
animated as
easy.
it should
Click
be.
below,
Some stuff
enter your
isn't
zip
as
code,
smooth
tell
as
us
it
some
should be.
basic
There are
information,
some
and you'll have the
performance
cheapest
problems
car
when opening
insurance
and
quote in
closing
less
apps,
than
not
60
shortly.
seconds.
Is he driving around in his black car with no insurance?
704 just passed. Vehicle stuck in the mud, just trying to push to the right side of the road.
Supposed to believe everything that's on TV.
Tonight, a horrifying rampage in the heart of Taiwan's capital. Videos show a man dressed in black running through a crowded shopping district in Taipei, wielding a massive knife, indiscriminately slashing bystanders before entering a popular mall, sending terrified shoppers running. Authorities say the assailant began his deadly Friday night attack at this nearby metro station, where he threw 5 or 6 smoke grenades. Videos show heavy smoke filling part of the station, and commuters just feet from the attacker, taking shelter in a Starbucks. In this CCTV footage, you can see the chaos and someone falling to the ground. Everybody was panicking, said this McDonald's employee. What I did immediately was to get the customers to take cover and hide. This woman says she was among those attacked, saying it did not feel like a slash, it felt more like being hit. Then it really hurt. According to Taiwan's national news agency, 3 people were killed and at least 6 others hurt, and that the suspect, 27-year-old Cheng Wen, also died after jumping out of a store window. Taipei's mayor says Wen was a wanted fugitive for evading military service. Tonight, Taiwan's prime minister announcing increased security in public areas, seeking to calm a nation unaccustomed to violence. Liz Croyce, NBC News.
Now to Russia and the push to end the war in Ukraine. Our Keir Simmons is in Moscow tonight and questioned Vladimir Putin directly. Keir, you pressed him on President Trump's peace plan.
Catastrophic floods.
That's right, Tom. President Putin answering questions for 4.5 hours, calling claims Moscow is planning to attack Europe nonsense and promising there will be no more wars after Ukraine if Russia is treated with respect. And with more talks underway, I asked him about President Trump's push for peace.
Mr.
President, if you reject President Trump's peace offer, will you be responsible for the deaths of Ukrainians and Russians in 2026?
We will not consider ourselves responsible for the death of people. It wasn't us who started this war. The ball is entirely in the court of our Western so-called opponents.
It was Russia that invaded Ukraine in 2022, Tom, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio said today the US is not pressuring either side, just trying to see if a deal is possible. President Putin says Russian forces are advancing on the battlefield, while today Ukraine said it had hit a Russian oil tanker. Tom?
Keir Simmons from Russia tonight for us. Keir, thank you. We're back in 60 seconds. With the new battle in AI, the farmers fighting to get big tech off their land. Stay with us.
To install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics.
We are back now with a battle between farmers and power companies over the AI boom. It all centers around plans to use farmland for new power lines to run AI data centers. Here's Stephanie Gosk.
Gaver Farm in Maryland is ready for the holidays.
We give them a saw, we give them a tree cart, they find their perfect tree.
The Christmas trees are pruned, the chocolate fudge displayed. But Lisa Gaver, a 7th-generation farmer, is struggling to enjoy the season.
You're in a fight. We are in a fight.
What do you think your chances are of winning it?
I don't know. It's going to be a long road hoe.
The fight is over proposed high-voltage power lines that would cut right through this 40-acre Christmas tree field.
One of the proposed towers is scheduled to be like right here where this tractor's sitting.
Gaver is part of a group of Maryland landowners battling the proposed 67-mile line that would cross 3 counties to deliver power from Pennsylvania to Northern Virginia, an area where data center growth has exploded because of AI, and with it, the demand for electricity.
And I'll play the Sister Julia history and about sort of 8 to 10 months later when he was really nervous about this new challenge because he just didn't know if he was going to be able to do it or not. And he wrote this script and I read it and immediately
in a statement, the utility company says the lines are necessary to power data centers in both Virginia and Maryland, as well as strengthen power. Farmers in Maryland tried to block surveyors from coming onto their property. The power company sued to gain access and won. Now the company is threatening to use eminent domain, which gives the government authority to acquire private property for public use, to go forward with the project. The battle playing out in similar ways all over the country.
Suddenly, we need a lot of power, and we weren't planning to have to build that much.
There are multiple regions where new data centers are creating a surge in power demand.
Do we have the kind of power infrastructure in place right now in this country to be able to supply enough power to the AI industry?
We don't really at this point. We're having to get very creative.
At Gaver Farm, the power company just left notice that its surveyors would be there soon.
They could show up any time. This is going into our busiest tree season. We're just honest and good, hardworking farmers that didn't ask for this.
Core component of the operating system. The Linux kernel interfaces directly with a computer's processor, memory, and other hardware, and is technically the only thing that is actually called Linux. In addition to the Linux kernel, all distros include many other open-source software components. Without getting too detailed or overly technical, these typically include a bootloader to start up the computer, and an init or initialization system that takes over when the computer
preliminary reports
show but if we have a look in there, you'll see yes, there is a zip file sitting there in a red license prominent for us there, and we could unzip that by just typing unzip, and we'll start it off, and then of course we can use the tab key to give us the whole file name, enter on that, and it will unzip the files. And if we just list again, you'll see we've now got that layer effect there where it's unzipped the files too.
If we see star James Vanderbeek sat down with our Craig Melvin to talk about his battle against stage 3 colon cancer. Vanderbeek saying that fighting cancer has become his full-time job, but also signaling optimism about the future.
As soon as I heard the news, I thought, this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Cancer?
Cancer.
Best thing?
Best thing. I had this little voice in my head that said, you're going to make changes that in your life that you would never, ever make if you didn't have this extreme of a diagnosis.
And he's still acting. All right, when we come back, one teacher's race to save Christmas for hundreds of kids. Stay with us.
The world's first titanium nonstick pan. It's gonna blow your hair back. I'm Mike Pagale, 3 Michelin chef, and I've been cooking for 25 years. You like badass shit? Well, here you go. This is the coolest innovation of our lifetime. The non-stick surface is made with titanium. There's no coating on it. You can't scratch it. Not to mention, there's no Teflon in it. I got this pan because it's beautiful, but it's also indestructible. Your car is gonna break down before this thing. Your house will probably fall apart before this thing. This is also the only non-stick pan in the world that you can scrub with scorched earth. This is quite literally gonna last forever. I love this fucking thing.
Step into a new 2026 Sportage and set out on your next adventure from Mike Shaw Kia. Wherever the road takes you, Sportage offers the perfect blend of performance, capability, technology, and comfort with class-leading cargo room and second.
Finally, there's good news tonight for a Texas teacher who turned to strangers on TikTok to save a Christmas tradition at her elementary school for her beloved students.
Hi, my name's Kyle.
In Fort Worth, Texas, one teacher was on a mission.
And I have 50 days to save Christmas for the 400 students at my school.
Kyle Murphy pleading followers to help keep alive a long-standing tradition at George C. Clark Elementary School.
Many of our students don't have Christmas gifts at home. So 50 years ago, they decided to purchase a gift for every student so they can at least have something under their tree Christmas morning.
But this year, the money came in short.
So I panicked because I couldn't imagine having a student not get to anything under their Christmas tree.
Out of options, she went to TikTok.
I am going to post every day for the next 55 days in hopes of raising enough money to get these gifts to our wonderful kiddos.
So Mrs. Murphy created a wish list on Amazon.
Within 48 hours, the people of TikTok had purchased all gifts and they were headed to my house.
Crates of presents delivered to her doorstep and strangers around the world pitching in.
I got Cash App and Venmo donations, anywhere from $1, kids saying, this is all I have, I want to help, and this is the way that I can help.
What do you think it is?
Making sure each kid had the Christmas they deserved. All thanks to a teacher who wished to keep traditions and the Christmas spirit alive.
With everything heavy going on right now, I think we're, as a society, we're skeptical when people reach out and ask for help. But when this took off like it did, it just really, it sounds so cliche, but restored my faith in humanity.
Still so many good people out there. That's Nightly News for this Friday. I'm Tom Llamas. We thank you for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.